Hey, it's Bear Scammon here at the Eugene Science Center, and today we've got a really fun little mix-up on our slime recipe that we had in our last video. So we're going to be using the same basic ingredients. So we're going to be using our Elmer's glue, about 2 ounces, and we're also going to be using our borax solution as our activator, and we're going to be making sure it's saturated and is a nice clear liquid. But the extra special ingredient that we're going to add today is some shaving cream or some shaving foam. And we're going to be adding that in just a little bit. So first we're going to add our coloring. And just like in our last video, we're going to be doing about 4 or 5 drops. But if you want a little bit more colorful, because we are going to be adding a lot of white in our foam, you can add a couple more drops. So we're going to be doing our spring green here today. Just a wonderful welcoming in of spring. And I'm going to be mixing that in first. And the reason that I want to mix that color in first is that when we add the foam, it's going to be a lot to mix in, and we want to make sure we know when it's incredibly mixed and well mixed. So once I've got all that color in there, it's going to turn that wonderful lime green, that wonderful spring green, and that's nice and consistent. Now here comes the next part, and we're going to add I like to add about 3 big dollops of our shaving cream. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and well mixed. And then I'm going to, I could do this on a plate. I'm going to use my hand because I don't mind getting messy today. And we're going to have 1 dollop and 2 dollops and 3 dollops. Because science is just, it's okay to get a little bit messy. We're already making slime. So I'm going to use my popsicle stick here to cut them off, put them into my cup for my slime. I got a little bit on the table, that's no problem either. I'm gonna do that. Now we need to mix this in really, really well. And we're gonna know that it's really well mixed when all of it is the same color. So all that white has turned green, and we may be jumping a little bit because this is really a lot of stirring you need to do, because the glue is gonna be all the way at the bottom. It's the heaviest part. And that foam is going to want to sit on the top, and you really need to make sure you dig down deep into it to get a really good mix. So I like to turn the cup a little sideways. Parents at home, you may want to make sure your kids are supervised for this so it doesn't spill out onto the table. A little bit of shaving cream is one thing. Glue everywhere, a little bit more messy. But holding it on its side allows that glue to sit on the bottom and more easily get the full rake with the popsicle stick. Now once it's got 100% uniform consistency, a homogeneous mixture, we're going to be adding our activator. Now when you add the activator, it's going to be really tough to mix it. And once again, just like our last slime, making sure your activator, your borax, is well mixed into your solution as best as you can is what's going to make or break your slime. I'm going to start with 2 droppers full, but once again, start little and add more. You can always add more. You can't take the borax out once you've added it. So I'm going to go with 2 droppers full right now. And I'm going to turn this towards the camera so you can start seeing the change. And so as I mix it through, you'll see it thickens, it starts getting stretchy, webby. It might even look a little bit like really gooey pizza dough. That's how I like to think of it. And what you're doing is you're mixing those borax molecules in there. They're tangling up those long polymers that are in your Elmer's glue. And they're binding together so they don't slide past each other as easily. And let's see. Well, we're starting to get a nice consistency. I'm looking at the bottom, seeing if there's any liquid in there. It still looks pretty sticky, so I'm going to add just a little bit more borax, maybe half a dropper full, and really make sure that starts getting mixed in really well. Once again, digging right there at the bottom, making sure everything's well mixed. Now the best mixture is not going to come from the popsicle stick. You're going to need to get even messier, so I'm going to start using my hands at this point. If it starts sticking to your hand, you're going to want to get a little bit of that borax solution, and that should help take it off. But you'll find that this is actually a little bit easier to work with than our previous slime creation because of the added foam. And it's gonna have a very different texture. And it's actually gonna have this nice, bulky, foamy, light texture that's really fun to play with. And it's gonna be a lot less sticky because of all of that shaving cream that we've added to it. And you really, really want to make sure the whole bit of the foam, every part of this slime is mixed really well. Cross-linking those polymers, making sure all of those borax molecules are deep into the glue and well mixed. And at this point, we've got our wonderful slime, and it's nice and stretchy. It's wobbly. It's actually not that sticky as slimes go. And I'd love for you to try this at home. Thanks for watching.